The person lying there was Lukaku. Did Lukaku get killed? Suddenly, it got brighter, and I saw. It's gonna be her AI. Oh? What's this? Okabe? It woke me up. Wait, is he gonna be? What?
Hey, whoa, hey! You think this content is free? Well, I mean, it is, but that's besides the point. You need to pay your ruffian taxes. What do you mean, taxes? I watch your videos to escape real life. You know exactly what I mean. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, ring the bell to get notified when I drop more content, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the video, okay? Alright, bye-bye. How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt here, back with some more Steins Gate 0. And last time, well, we ended up here now. In this decrepit wasteland of what used to be Akihabara. Yeah. We woke up after the time shift happened, you know, we started the other route, and when we woke up from raiding Steiner, we were back in the lab, but everyone was there, like a freaking new Smash Bros game. But then we quickly found out that wasn't true. We woke up, we were in some kind of a building, some form of a I can't even say medical facility. It didn't look like one. It was just that's where we were being held. We got out, found all of this, then found Suzuha, who took us back to Daru, who is much thinner now, as we realized we were 25 years in the future from when we first time-leapt. So, or I guess not time-leapt, but world line shifted, so. And yeah, so the last thing that we had happen was Mayuri and the rest of the gang, for the most part, were out scavenging for food, and apparently it was a trap. They were led into a trap, and so everyone raced out to go in and try and help them. And that's where we are currently. So I guess we'll just get right back into it. When we finally got there, I saw several silhouettes. I'd been mentally preparing myself for a fierce battle, but the whole place was dead quiet. There were several men dressed like soldiers lying on the ground nearby. In front of them was Suzuha. Kneeling next to her were two women. And at their feet, Lukaku. I could tell at a glance. The person lying there was Lukaku. Did Lukaku get killed? No! Oh! Not Lukaku. Oh, Karin. The two women looked up at me. Oh, Karin! Lukanyan! Lukanyan is... Mayuri and Faris both seemed beaten down by the passage of time. Okabe. His features had grown more gallant, but his face was still soft and feminine. Lukaku looked at me with hazy eyes. Lukaku, is it really you, Okabe? Yeah, Lukaku, it's me. You called me Lukaku. It really is you. A single trail of blood dripped from Lukaku's mouth. His outfit was stained with blood over his right breast, and the blood dripped over onto the ground. I knew immediately that the wound was fatal. Oh. I'm glad.
what I just heard was true. Yeah, thanks to you, I was able to wake up. Thank you.
Lukako's hand reached up toward the sky, as if he was looking for something. Maybe he couldn't even see me anymore. When I grabbed his hand, it was very cold.
Okabe.
What is it?
I did it.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Seishin Zanma school you taught me, I was able to protect Mayuri and everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm one of you guys now, right? I'm really one of you now, aren't I?
Idiot. You were always one of us. Lukako reached out a cold hand and touched my cheek, and smiled a dazzling smile.
That makes me happy.
That was all he said. And then, the touch on my cheek disappeared. Lukako? Lukako?
Luka?
The cold hand fell to the rubble-covered ground.
Oh. Luka-nyan!
And never moved again. How could this happen?
I'm glad. Lukako always wanted to see Okarin. I'm glad he got to see him in the end.
Glad? She was glad? After this? Mayuri's words made me realize how hellish the last 25 years I'd slept through must have been.
Luka Urashibara, you fought splendidly. You saved us. Please, rest in peace.
This is just... It's not fair. Where's Mayushi?
She cried herself out and went to sleep.
I can understand that. She and Lukashi were good friends.
Brother Luka.
Lukako was... dead. He'd died protecting Mayuri and Faris. In my mind, his death overlapped with Mayuri's. Mayuri's hands got colder, and so did Lukako's. It was the same no matter where I went. Mayuri, Lukako, and Kurtz. Everyone dies. A lot of people died after that war started. All our friends from elementary school, all our friends from middle and high school, all our friends from college. Our relatives, our teachers, people we knew, kids, adults, even the people we loved. So many people died. I knew this was coming. At least, I thought I knew. If I didn't reach Steins Gate,
if I stayed in the Beta World line, the world would eventually burn. I'd heard it 1,000 times, and I thought I knew what the future would be like. But in the end, it was just a story about the distant future. It didn't feel real at all. I could only imagine it. All I had were vague, unrealistic ideas. All the thousands of nightmares I'd experienced. I thought nothing could be worse than that. But when I saw it with my own eyes, heard it with my own ears, and felt it with my own skin, I realized that everything I thought was wrong. Piles of bodies. Wild dogs devouring human corpses. Dead soldiers. The smell of burning flesh. The smell of rotting organs. The warmth of Lukako's blood in my hands. The warmth of Mayuri's blood. The warmth of Kuritz's blood. I thought that if nothing else, I'd manage to save Mayuri. I'd let Kuritz die, turned my eyes away from reality, and told myself that at least I'd saved Mayuri and the others. But in the end, I hadn't saved anyone. Even if I had, I'd only saved myself. Oh, dang. I was the only person I'd managed to save. No one else. Not Kuritz. Not Mayuri. Not Kagari. Not Lukako. I hadn't saved anyone. Release Kuritz from the bonds of Amadeus. Huh? A message from you in the year 2025. A message from myself? The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. That's what you said 11 years ago. Release Kuritz. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's the world that we need. At least, that's what I think. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm okay with things as they are. Daru. So, Okarin, why not go back and think about it? To the moment when your memory's cut off. To 2011? But that's not... I could see my aged body in the glass. And anyway, even if I did go back, what could I do?
You can do it.
I heard a voice I recognized from the radio.
It's been a while, Okabe. 11 years, I think.
Hiyacho?
Look in the back of the room.
As if he'd known what she was going to say, Daru had moved to a spot in the back of the room where the lights didn't reach. Suddenly, it got brighter, and I saw. It's gonna be her AI. Oh? What's this? She created a time leap machine! Oh my gosh! Let's go! The phone wave.
I made this after hearing about it from you and Hashida. See? It's got a VR headset, too.
I've got a lifter ready, too. I thought this might happen. Daru went on to explain that for the last 11 years, he'd maintained an environment where I could receive the time leap, even in a coma. That made sense. Even if I was in a coma, as long as they didn't put the receiver up to my head, it would still function. Mayuri and the others had taken care of my body since 2025. So Daru and Maho had known that this day would come 11 years ago? Or maybe I'd told them so, back in 2025.
Our improvements mean it's now possible to go back in time 336 hours.
Wait, how long is that? That's only like... Wait, how long is that many hours? That's like, what, 2 weeks, I think? It's really not that long. 336 hours. 2 weeks? That's what I thought.
But that will only get you part of the way back. We made the modifications to the machine about 10 years ago, so beyond that, you'll only be able to go 48 hours at a time.
Just like the old one. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so... That's crazy, wow. Okay. In other words, if I wanted to go back to the end of January 2011, I'd need about 3,000 time leaps.
It's going to be a long and painful journey, but if you're still up for it...
Almost 3,000 time leaps. Was I really capable of something like that anymore? If you get tired, you can rest part way. Daru.
Don't worry. No matter what year it is, we'll always be with you.
Hyacho.
You know, I've got a lot of regrets. Thanks to Amadeus, even after her death, a lot of people tried to use her for evil. For years. For decades.
Oh.
So I want your help too. Release her. Release Kudits from that ugly spiral of greed. Save Kudits. You're the only one who can.
I didn't know if I could do it anymore. There was no guarantee that the path I was about to travel would ever lead to Steins Gate. But even so, maybe I should think it over again. What could I do? What should I do? Alright, guys. I'm in. Okie dokie. As soon as the words were out of his mouth, he started getting ready.
Okabe.
Huh?
If you ever see Kudits, tell her that in the future, I beat her time leap record 7 times over.
Aw, that's kinda cute. Aw. Got it. If I ever saw Kudits. Okarin, I'm all set. That was fast. I've always kept it maintained. I figured you would. I bet. The phone wave and the VR headset. They looked a little different than what I'd seen in the old lab, but they were still our future gadgets.
Oh, but are you sure you don't want to talk to Big Sis Mayu and the others?
If I don't go now, I think my resolve is going to weaken. And even if I don't see them now, I'll be able to see them whenever I want in the past. That's right. Wow, he just went for it. Lukaku gave him the strength, bro. That's so... this is I like this ending. This is cool. Daru smiled as I took the VR headset out of his hand and put it on my head. All right. See you guys in 2 weeks. Yeah. See you 2 weeks ago.
Hang in there.
And then, I jumped back into the past once more. It took a long, long time. The journey was unimaginably long.
Wow, dude.
I looked at the phone I was holding in my hand.
Wait, so here's the thing though, right? Here's the problem. He would only be able to go back to when the time leap machine was created, right? Because of the 48-hour time limit that they put on there, right? She even said that again, so it's not like it was upgraded to go whenever like to however far back he wanted, right? It still is only limited by the 2-day limit. So once he got to the day that it was created, he could only go back 2 more days before that and never any further, right? Isn't that how that works? So how did he get back here before this was ever created, before the new time leap machine was ever created? You know what I mean? I think that's a plot hole. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, wait, they didn't explain that? So where, like, I don't know how they did that. Unless I missed something, but I don't think I did. So let me know in the comments if you understand anything differently, because that still doesn't make sense. That is the one issue I've had with the plot in both games, is that 48-hour time limit thing just not being explained. Like, why can you only go back that far? And if you can, in this case, how were you able to make it all the way back to 2011? I don't know. So, because she said it could go back 2 weeks at a time up until like 10 years, and then it would be the next year that you couldn't anymore, right? But when did she create that new time leap machine? So that's what I need to know. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if it actually explains that at all, or if it's just going to skate right over that. I looked at the phone I was holding in my hand. The date read January 31st, 2011. No doubt about it. I was back. I had finally made it back. I'd gone back through so many years. I'd done thousands of time leaps. Gone through the war. Wait. How did he go through the war, though? I just thought of this, too. If he was unconscious for for how long was that? 10, 11 years? How was he able to time leap through those periods of time? Would it have woken him up? How would they have known to put the phone to his head? I don't understand. Am I not understanding something, or is that just a really big plot hole in this particular ending? What am I not getting? I'm making sense, right? Like, how would he have been able to put the phone to his ear or be able to, put the headset on if no one would have known, right? Back in that time. I don't understand. Okay.
I'd almost died. I'd thought of giving up a bunch of times. But each time, I'd remembered it all. That ruined world. The piles of corpses. The screams. The shouting. The dripping blood. And Daru and Maho, and how they'd sent me off. After a long, unimaginably long time, I'd finally made it back to this time.
Oh, Karin? Did you get some bad news or something?
Huh?
You've been kinda spacing out since you picked up the phone.
No. That's not it. Mayuri was here.
Are you still thinking about New Year's, Meowbei?
Faris was here. Get a hold of yourself, man. And Daru. And Lukaku. And Suzuha. And... Maho and Kagari were here too.
Are you feeling tired after what we did earlier?
Earlier?
You know, when we took the samples of your memories for Amadeus.
Oh! Wait, we did that? Huh? Wait, so... when did we do that? Cause wouldn't the whole thing that happened with Kagari have happened? Huh? Now I'm trying to figure this out. Wait, cause it was on, what, the 15th, I think? That happened with the people that were rushing the door when we time-leapt. Kagari was like, she had Kuritz's memories. Did that resolve itself? What? Okay.
Oh, right. Daru had mentioned that. He said it was at the end of January. No, that's it. Just, you know. Kagari.
Huh? What is it, Okarin?
You still can't remember what happened since you came to this time?
Huh? Yeah.
I see.
Why do you ask?
No reason. I just wanted to make sure.
What? You're being weird, Okarin.
Since I'd come from the future, I knew. In this world line, Kuritz's memories no longer existed inside Kagari's head.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, I did forget about that. I forgot that we time-leapt before we ended up in that time period. So yeah, okay. So that never had happened. Interesting. Okay. All right. That's fine. That makes sense. The time leaping thing, 48-hour limit, whatever, doesn't make sense to get us to here. But that's fine. Unless 2 days from now we make the time leap machine. That's the only way it works. So, yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Because we didn't actually end up back at the 15th. We ended up 2 weeks later? Something like that. So that probably is what happens. I'm gonna let it slide with that for now.
But it doesn't really bother me anymore, though. I mean, Mommy's here. And Luca's here. And Big Sis Doomy is here, too. And there's lots of food, too. So maybe I don't need to force myself to remember.
I see. Maybe that was fine, for now. But the future was going to be filled with sorrow. For Mayuri. For Faris. For Lukaku. For Daru. For Suzuha. For Kagari. And for Maho. Did I really make the right choice when I decided to let Kuritz die? After everyone had left, and I was alone, all the exhaustion came crashing down on me. I'd time-leapt 3,000 times. It just hit me too, I just remembered the fact that they stored his memories for Amadeus. I forgot Daru said that in the last episode, yeah. So he said to do that, and then that's how they gave him his digital memories, what would that be? Well, anyway, in 2036, however many years ahead that is from now. I thought I'd be able to work things out in my head along the way, but I'd been so desperate to return to the past that I hadn't had time. My mind was worn down after all the time leaps. I thought I'd made my decision, but I'd found myself wavering again and again. I'd only managed to do it by telling myself that I had to get back before I could make any decisions. And now my head just felt so tired. What should I do now? What should I do? For now, I didn't want to think about anything, but I felt too awake to even sleep. With everyone gone, the temperature in the lab quickly dropped. It was freezing. But it was nothing compared to the cold I'd felt before. That world I'd seen right after I'd erased Kuritz's memories from Kagari. Kuritz was there. Mayuri was there. Everyone was there. It was a scene from that brief peace I'd had during that summer. But that world had been so cold. And now I knew why. That was the world that I'd experienced when I was asleep, existing only as data. A world built only of zeros and ones. Like being alive, even when you're dead. Or being forced to stay alive, even though you were dead. The people I loved were there. But there was no warmth. I could reach out and touch them, but there wasn't even a little bit of warmth. It was like floating in deep, dark space, without any light at all. And Kuritsu Makase was now experiencing that too. She was all alone in a cold world, without the slightest trace of warmth. I raised my hand up under the fluorescent light. I could see the veins rising up out of it, and the red blood flowing in them. I was alive. There was warmth. But could I really say that I was alive? Now that my memories had been digitized, after being exposed to that cold world, could I still really be called human? I heard a knock at the door and turned my eyes toward it. Maho was standing there. Hyajo, I thought you went home.
I forgot something.
Forgot something?
Anyway, what are you doing here all by yourself?
Yeah, it's because she realized something happened to him, right? With that little pause that she gave. Maho showed no signs of looking for whatever she had lost. Instead, she came right up and sat down in front of me.
You've had that pensive look on your face for a long time now. Is something bothering you?
Maybe she'd been worried enough to come back and check on me?
I can't take Kuritz's place, but I can still talk to you if you want.
Hyajo. There was no need to worry about whether I could tell her or not. I needed her to make the time leap machine. Oh, so that's how he gets it to happen. Okay. So, but he has to do it within 2 days. If it doesn't happen within 2 days, then there's some kind of a mismatched plot hole, I think, there. So, and for that, she needed to hear everything. It's not exactly easy to believe, but will you listen to me anyway? Also, I just thought too, how is it not a paradox, right? Because, I'm trying to think, because, okay, we know that the world, when the world line shifts, the universe makes sense of the shift by, like, fixing the rest of history to go along with the fix, like with whatever happened, right? With whatever the change was. But in this case, the only reason that everything happened was because we're doing this moment now, right? Because Okabe's gonna tell her everything. She's gonna make the time leap machine, probably based off of information that I'm assuming he has either from the future, or if he can't do that, then
He's just going to tell her everything so that it at least initiates her to make the time leap machine, which she never would have made had he never been able to go back in time the way he is now. So it's like a paradox. Like, the time leap machine wouldn't have been created had he not have been able to tell her about the time leap machine, but he never would have been able to tell her about the time leap machine if it had never been created, right? So it's circular logic. Am I missing something, or am I finding a plot hole? Because it feels like that's what's happening. I never got the whole 48 hours thing to begin with, on top of now what I'm just figuring out with this. But I don't know. I'll just let me keep reading. I don't know. I just feel like there's something I'm not getting here.
Sheesh. What's your problem?
That was the first thing she'd said after I finished. Just like last time, it wasn't something that was easy for her to believe. But Maho must have sensed something in the way I spoke, because she listened until I finished. She interrupted me whenever there was something she didn't understand. She was especially interested in the time machine and the time leaps. I told her everything I knew about them. Will you believe me?
I don't have a choice. After seeing the look on your face. And after seeing this, too.
Oh, he showed her. Hiyacho.
This answers something I'd always wondered about. Kuretsu had died only a short while after coming to Akihabara. Could you really have gotten to know her in that short span of time? Especially knowing how she is, right? I thought something must have gone on for her to get so close to a boy that fast.
So that was it, she whispered to herself.
And? So what's on your mind?
I turned away from her.
Okabe?
Am I... me?
What do you mean?
You heard what I said, right? My memories were turned into data and stored on a hard drive. You could call them artificial memories if you wanted. Can you really say that I'm me anymore? Can you really say that I'm alive? There was blood running through my body. But what was in my head had been changed into zeros and ones. Didn't that make me no different than Amadeus?
That's what's bothering you? That's stupid.
But Maho just laughed at my worries.
Have you ever heard of a philosophical zombie?
It's a thought experiment, right? Something that looks and behaves just like a human but lacks consciousness and emotions. And whether or not you could objectively distinguish it from a human. I hesitated a little as I answered her sudden question.
Well, that's basically right.
She nodded, satisfied like a teacher would.
Then let's say that right here there was an AI that looked just like a human. It looks like a human, and acts just like one too. When someone's in trouble, it reaches out to help them. And when it's sad, it cries. Maybe those are just pre-programmed processes, but humans are no different. Everyone thinks and reacts in accordance with their own individual processes. We just happen to call these processes things like consciousness and feelings.
I thought I understood what Maho was trying to say. I think it's a little more complicated than that, but sure. I mean, because we're more than just, we're made up of three components, right? We have the body, the mind, or what we would call the soul, and then the spirit, which is different from the soul. Because the soul is the mind, will, and emotions. The soul is something ethereal. It's something that's like the true essence of what a person is. And I think that there's a lot that can't fully be explained because we can't understand or scientifically experiment on, if you will, this abstract concept that we've called the spirit, you know? I don't know.
In other words, AIs have feelings too?
At least, we scientists are doing our best to create them.
She puffed out her chest with pride.
So, Okabe, do you think you're not an AI with emotions?
If they looked just like a person and thought just like them, and had feelings too, they were a person.
Again, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, you know? Because, like, a dog isn't a person, but they can think to a degree, they have emotions, you know? They just don't reason the same way, right? They're just not as intelligent. But a dog is not a person. It may have a personality, but it's not a person. You know what I mean? There is a difference.
No.
Hey, alright.
Right? It's memories that make someone who they are, anyway. Memories are everything people have experienced since they were born. So, Dintaro Okabe, even if your memories were once data, you've got your body and your memories. You're human. You're Dintaro Okabe. Don't worry about it.
Hyajo.
And anyway, doesn't Kuditz's time leap machine digitize data to send it back in time? So, is there any need to worry about this now?
Yeah, she's got a point. I mean, technically, it's like, you should have been worried about that like 6 months prior to when the game started. Or I guess technically, or the 6 months, yeah, 6 months prior to when the game started, but probably even a little bit further back than that, so. Because he'd already time-leapt multiple times.
That was what Daru had told me in the future, too. But strangely, when she said it, it made me feel better.
Probably because she's smarter, right? Because she actually does all this for a living.
Maybe Kuditz would have been able to come up with a better way to put it, but...
No, that's not true. This was more than enough. Maho had given her opinion, as a brain scientist, that I was still me. There was a strength in her words, just like there had been in Kuditz's when she'd driven me forward. I remembered what Maho had said before.
You're a genius, and in the end, I'm just Salieri.
Yeah, by the way, I just recently found out I've been saying Salieri wrong this whole time. I've been saying salary, I don't know why, it's just the way it looked to me, but you have to like separate each syllable. It's Salieri. Like if you were saying it, you know, Italian style. Salieri, right? But I was saying salary anyway. That's a blunder for me, I think. All this time I kept looking at that. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's Salieri. Anyway.
She'd been speaking to the memories of Kuditz inside Kagari. But... Hyajo, you're not Salieri.
Huh?
You're Amadeus. That's right. I'm here, right now. I'm alive, and here in this time, not in that cold sea of black data. I'm here in this time. A light came on in the darkness. My cold heart began to warm. But... Kuditz. She was still trapped inside that world. Inside that sterile, lifeless world that froze you to the depths of your soul. Even after her death, her memories were still alive. And there were all kinds of conspiracies forming around her living memories. Even after she lost her body, Kuditz's pain continued. no, it wasn't just Kurtz. Kagari and Suzuha. And in the future, Mayuri, Faris, Lukaku, and Daru too. Everyone was suffering. Everyone was miserable. But still they tried to move forward. All I had cared about was whether Mayuri survived. I thought that even if the Third World War came, no matter what happened to the world, as long as Mayuri was happy, that was all that mattered. I tried to think that. I thought that no matter how much blood and tears awaited us in the future, as long as things were fine now, that was all that mattered. I thought I'd understood. I thought I'd understood how awful the future that Suzuha described was. And how hard Daru and Suzuha would have to fight. I thought I understood all that. Suzuha firing her gun and staining her hands with blood like it was nothing at all. Mayuri and Faris, pale and colorless. Lukaku lying on the ground and never getting up again. Kagari and the others, whose lives were ruined by fate. I'd seen them with my own eyes and touched them with my own hands. And then I finally understood. I'd been only pretending to know, so I could run away. I'd told myself that I was going to die in 2025 and looked the other way. 2025. I wasn't dead. Everyone just thought so.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool, little twist in the story, I must say.
Everyone had been deceived. That's right. Deceived. Me in the past. And everyone else in the future. The world was deceived. I thought the future was settled. But a different future awaited me. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. That's what you said 11 years ago. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. I had no way of knowing what would make me say that 14 years from now. All I knew was that 14 years from now, I would know this day was coming. So maybe I should do what I said.
Well, see, and again, you only said that because this person that you're talking about right now is the person that says this, that then Daru tells you about in 2036 to inspire your old self to come back and be this person after leaping 3,000 times, right? Is that not paradoxical somehow? How does the paradox break? I feel like I'm missing something. There's probably something that's been explained at one point that's not making sense to me again, because it's always hard whenever I hear the grandfather paradox, because that's basically what that is. You know, you go back in time to fix something, and once you fix it, you go back forward in time and nothing's changed because the reason to go back in time didn't exist because you fixed it. So therefore nothing changed, because without having a reason to go back in time, you never would have went back to fix it in the first place. So that always sticks so solidly in my mind that I forget that sometimes I know that this game has things that break that logic, but I can't ever remember them, or I can't remember if they made sense. So I don't know, but we're just gonna go with it for right now.
If that future in 2036 was necessary, then maybe a world where Kurtz was released from her electronic prison was necessary too. No matter how hard the path would be, I had to take the first step. And what I needed right now was that first step. Hiajo.
What?
Can you help me a little more before you go back to America?
Okay, but on 2 conditions.
Conditions?
First, you let me look at that time machine.
And second?
You're going to let me call you Okarin. You'll call me Maho. I don't think they're too much, do you?
There was an innocent smile on her face, the likes of which I'd never seen before. All right, Maho.
Thanks, Okarin.
When she put her small hand against mine, I felt a solid warmth.
What is it, Okarin? Why didn't you call me back after I already left?
That's right. I don't live that close to here. If you wanted to talk about something, you should have just said so before I left. I'd called all the lab members back after they'd left to go home, and they weren't happy.
So, what did you want to talk about, Okarin?
Is it something you couldn't tell us on Rhine or the phone? Yeah. But first, Suzuha.
What?
I have a question. What do you think about me?
What do you mean?
Wait, Okarin, you can't! Even for you, Okarin, I'm not giving you Suzuha. Daddy won't allow it. Never! I ignored Daru, who seemed to have gotten the wrong idea completely, and turned back toward Suzuha. You've been watching me since last summer. What have you been thinking about me? I want your honest opinion.
You're sure?
Yeah.
To be honest, you've been ticking me off.
Yeah. That was honest. I chuckled.
It's not just me, Dad, and Big Sis Mayu. It's Big Sis Dumi and Brother Luca and Kagari. In the future, everyone suffers. They don't even know if they're going to be alive tomorrow. They might die horribly, like my mom did. And they're trying their best to survive anyway. But all you do is whine and act like you're the only person in the world with problems.
Once she started talking, she didn't stop. This must have been building up for a long time.
Of course, I know you've been through a lot. I know you've suffered again and again until finally you couldn't go on. But you're all we have, Uncle Okarin.
She looked down, clenched her fists, and grit her teeth.
If I could take your place, I'd do anything. No matter what I had to go through, no matter how much it hurt, I'd do it.
Suzuha.
But there's nothing we can do. You're the only one who can do anything.
She suddenly looked up, and I could see on her face all the complicated feelings she'd been holding back.
But all you do is talk about how it's impossible, or you can't do it, or you don't want to. You just whine, and you won't even listen to me. I never said anything because Dad was around, but you've always ticked me off. A lot of the time, I just wanted to punch you.
It probably felt good to get that off her chest. Suzuha, you don't need to go that far.
That's right. Okarin understands, Nia.
I did understand. Yeah. I understood that something had to be done.
He's gonna let her punch her. Or punch him, I mean.
Then why not do it?
Do what?
You wanted to hit me, right?
Then hit me!
Huh? But...
No need to hold back.
Suzuha, stop it! Okarin is...
It's fine, Mayuri. This was my way of settling things. With Suzuha. With the future. And with myself.
Okarin.
Is that your fetish? Then I guess I won't stop you, but...
Dude, I freaking let this cool moment happen without being a weirdo, bro. Come on, bro! Ugh!
You're really sure?
Suzuha took a step towards me. Yeah. I was ready.
Alright. This is gonna hurt.
Huh? No, wait. You can go easy.
Yeah! Oh! Blah!
She hit me hard enough to knock me across the room.
Oh, sorry. I guess I put a little too much force into it. I just heard a really loud crunch. Are you okay, Okarin?
Everyone ran over and looked down at me. Yeah, that hurt a lot. It probably did more damage to my brain than reading Steiner or the time leaps. But...
Okabe?
It woke me up.
Wait, is he gonna be... What?
Now I just had to do what I could.
Yes, he's freaking Hououin. He's Hououin Kyouma now. Yes.
Okarin?
I can't believe it.
Is that... Kyouma? Okarin.
No, Mayuri. I am Hououin Kyouma.
Kyouma?
Yes! My name is Hououin Kyouma! Lab member number 001. The founder of this lab. The man who longs for chaos. The mad scientist who will upend the ruling hierarchy of the world. Hououin Kyouma! Lukaku!
Right.
Bring me my white lab coat. This is so cool! I've been waiting the whole game for this, baby! This is awesome, dude! Let's go!
Right. Kyouma? Kyouma? Kyouma is back, Nia! Dad? What is this?
You did it, Suzuha. Okarin's finally ready to fight.
Let's go!
Here you are, Kyouma.
Indeed. I put my lab coat on for the first time in a very long time. It had been sitting on the shelf in the back so long that it smelled a little moldy.
That's right! This is it! This is my holy silver armor! At this moment, Hououin Kyouma has awakened! He has revived from his long slumber! This is so cool, dude! I love that! That's so good!
Kagari and Maho were seeing Hououin Kyouma for the first time, and they were shocked into silence.
What just happened? Did that punch drive him crazy? I remember now. Huh? Hououin Kyouma. Mommy used to talk about him all the time. She said that someday, Hououin Kyouma would come back to life and bring light to our future. I'm having a really hard time keeping up with all this.
You, the lolly!
Yes! He's back, baby! Let's go! It's so hype!
Huh?
You! I'm talking to you.
What? You're not talking to me, are you?
You're the only lolly here, aren't you?
Who are you calling a lolly?
I give you the honor of being Lab Mem number 009. You shall be my servant and participate in our operations.
Why do I have to be your servant? And what the heck is a lab member?
Yes! Yes! Just like the name suggests, it means you're an official member of this lab. You must feel very honored.
Honored?
Oh, it's so cool!
Next, Kagari Shina.
What?
You're lab member 010. Got it?
Okay. Wait, Kyouma! We don't get to be lab members, Nya?
Faris and Lukaku seemed upset. Come to think of it, I'd made them lab members in the Alpha World line, but not this one. I never told you, but of course, you are already lab members. Lukaku is 006, Faris is 007, and Suzuha is 008. Got it?
Yes, sir! Yay! I don't quite understand, but Roger.
Wait, Ocarine, who's 004 and 005? Those two numbers are reserved.
Oh.
For credits and Moeka. To be honest, I didn't like the idea of leaving Moeka as an official lab member. But in order to reach a future where that could be true, I would have to face the past right now. That was my decision.
This is hype, bro! Yes! Look at him!
Now that everyone's here, I have something to declare. As of today, January 31st, 2011, we will begin a new operation. Our goal is to annihilate the coming future, to overturn the future of the world itself. That is our goal. Got it?